This episode of Speakers of Heidelin is made possible by our generous patrons. Special thanks to our Supreme and Master speakers, Omeji Cat Comet, Erisu Yamakawa, Alex Franco AV, Winebow Brood, Aurora Templeton, Psyche, Asuta Starbreeze, Cletus Oreo, Nina Grimstarter, Lily Black, Bob Cece, Mictor Rabentau, Anathos Moonscar, Pamela Isley, Alenriel Maximus, Codrith Novelist, Mira Miri, Celesto Notrell, Lazy Boy, Luke Osborne, Pandaloo Stormarrow, Tex, Kylin, Arthur Law, Barry Danderard, Cypop, Spencer Christmas, Celine DeLune, Edwin, Webster Wolf, Severa, Circa Barrakiel, Kazran, Ventos Tia, Ryark Forbear, Leighton the House, Tony, Arcadia Lunashine, Framboise Sakuro, Bergie, Fudge, Seffield Cafe, and Gregorium Cartus. Get early access to audio and video versions of the show, including the post-show, by supporting us at patreon.com/speakersxiv. Thank you.
This is Speakers of Heidelin.
Good evening, Ayorsians. Welcome to Speakers of Heidelin, episode 418. I'm Lakil Brayston, and I'm joined today by Georgi Wiston, Mail of Anadar, and Rolodes. Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome. Today, it is September the 7th, 2024, and today we're going to talk about a lot of things, actually. We have quite a full doc today. We have a Yoshi-P interview again. This one is more about nothing controversial. Well, maybe. You can make it controversial if you want to, but at least
You can try.
You can try.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
And also, we're going to talk about the character model feedback response that we got from Yoshi-P, which is quite lengthy and weird, but we'll go through that. Also, we'll probably be able to read at least one mogmail today. You can send in more, speakersxiv.com/mogmail. Now, I have to warn you that we are starting to build up a little bit of a backlog, so it might take some time before we get to your mogmail, but we do appreciate you sending in mogmail, so speakersxiv.com/mogmail.
Give us some predictions for like 7.2 or something.
Yes, 7.2. That's what we want.
We'll get round to them.
Yeah. So stay tuned for the post show. We'll be answering questions from the syndicate. And we'll be returning to the fanfic reading that we're doing in there, at least for another chapter. So, God, you need to be so invested in this fanfic to remember what's going on, because there will be like a 4-week break between each chapter at this point. So, thanks for watching. Okay. Just want to mention real quick for the channel updates. I'll just remind everyone that Retrovision is happening on the 17th of September. That's a Tuesday. The time's below, 7 p.m. CEST. If you are a patron on our Discord, there is an event right now that is available it's in events, and that will show the correct times, because I'm sure I've fucked up the time on this slide somehow, as I always do. But hopefully I haven't. I just know that the Central European and British, the BST one, I never know what the S stands for. Is it summertime?
Summer.
Okay,
Yeah, summer.
Summertime. Yeah, there you go. That is happening. I'll tease this again next week, because that's when, that's the last chance. Okay, available to Senior Master and Supreme. Should mention that as well. Although the VODs, as usual, are only available for Supreme and Master. So, there you go. Okay, let's move on. It's time for recent events. Hui. We'll start light. We have some sweepstakes thing happening.
Wow.
Final Fantasy 14 an Alienware gaming laptop sweepstakes.
Wow.
We're excited
Mailer
to
and I were
announce. Yeah, go on.
Mailer and I were talking about how we really hope that it comes with that Intel logo on the back.
Yeah.
Dude, I wanted to talk
This
about
better
this.
be the final design.
Let's
About that.
There is something like I don't hate Intel. I know a lot of people hate Intel or whatever, or say that Intel is inferior. It doesn't matter. I have always found the Intel like aesthetic to look like corporate. Like it looks like
Yeah.
you know.
I like it though. It's very, very like.
No, but it's not cool.
technology.
You don't want that on
No,
your
I am-
Alienware
It's not
gaming
for
PC.
gamers. It's for
It's for accounting.
companies. Yes,
Yeah.
for accounting.
Yeah, it's a strange.
It's a nice aesthetic. I like it.
I mean, it is nice. It is nice for like that, but it's not cool. You
It's
know.
not cool.
AMD knew what they were doing by going with like
Red.
black and orange and red.
Yeah.
Striking colours.
Well, blue is technically a gaming color, I guess, but their designs are so boring. It's like plain blue.
No, they're
Like,
It's just blue though. It's like
Yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of white, but usually, I guess you'd have like a lot of white.
clean.
like,
They're
blue
clean
LEDs.
designs.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
I don't know.
They really are like the IBM. They're trying to go
Yeah.
IBM core a little bit with their aesthetic, which is fine. I mean, IBM was legendary. So,
Yeah.
anyways, gaming laptop sweepstakes. We're excited to announce that we're partnering with Alienware to give away an Alienware M16 R2 gaming laptop
Oh, an M16R2.
to one lucky winner. Starting Monday the 2nd of September until Monday the 16th, you can visit the Gleam promotion page and complete at least one or more entry methods. So you have to follow the English, French, or German Final Fantasy 14 accounts. Oh, is this EU only? I forgot to ask this before we went
No,
live.
I'll explain who it's for afterwards.
Okay. And then follow the Alienware account on X. Retweet the promotion post from your X account or Twitter through the promotiongleam.io page. View the Final Fantasy XIV Instagram account via the promotiongleam.io page link. Follow the official Final Fantasy XIV Twitch channel on your Twitch account. Twitch accounts are available for free. And then visit the official Final Fantasy XIV YouTube channel. YouTube accounts are available for free.
You only have to visit it. You don't have to subscribe to it.
The winner will be selected through a random drawing to win. And the prize is one Alienware M16 R2 gaming laptop. Approximate retail value is 2,309 euros. So
Yeah,
a pretty penny.
expensive.
yeah, that is pretty expensive. So that's 1,849 pounds for those in
They're
the
not terrible.
Isles.
I mean, obviously it's a laptop, so it will have
Yeah.
heating issues. But it has I think it has a real 40 series graphics card, and
It'll keep you warm this winter. You know?
It will
yes,
keep you warm.
it sure will.
boot up the fuzzy donut stress test or whatever.
Yes. Yes.
Warm all
So-
winter long.
You were asking who this is available to.
Mhm.
It's available to 50 states of the USA, District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Canada excluding Quebec, the UK excluding overseas territories, Germany, France excluding overseas territories, and that's it.
It's one of those again. It's like
specific.
EU light is allowed in as well. So.
We will do it for the countries that explicitly support the languages we have made the game for.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? That might be because of the keyboard as well. I wonder if. But the
Possibly.
French use a different keyboard.
They use
Yeah,
a
they-
30.
Yeah.
Interesting. I wonder if they'll
Disgusting.
facilitate for that. Like they'll be like, "Oh, a Frenchie one," and then they're like, "What do we do? Do we send
No,
in
I
like
think they would
QWERTY?"
Just
I think that you're gonna send him a QWERTY.
Yeah.
Well, at least like a European QWERTY, so it has like the pound symbol on it. or something.
Yeah.
I also just think that they're banking on a French person not winning.
Yeah.
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 They'll rig it.
That's true. They probably will. Okay, well there you go. I don't know. Gaming laptops. You know, I mean, this one's pretty
Sometimes
high
they're
end, so
decent.
it'll last for a little longer than the average.
I mean, they're
gaming
getting better.
laptop.
They used to be
They are getting better.
like, I mean, they used to have specific laptop low grade graphics cards, whereas now they have real graphics cards.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, all the old M series.
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
if you win it, good on you. You got
Yeah.
yourself a really good laptop.
I was I was thinking that I might get a new PC soon. I was like, oh, this is a competition, but it's not for me, so
No.
it's irrelevant.
I don't know why. I have such a weird thing with gaming laptops. I hate when you're typing on them. The screen's fucking shit. Like it just something about it just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if I'm really trying to focus on writing. I'm like,
Yeah.
No.
It's also like I had Lonigan. Sorry, hey Lonigan. He had a gaming laptop, and I just
Sadly,
remember
he passed.
he's not. He's fine, but he's not on the show anymore. That's why I can say his name. He's a speaker. He had a gaming laptop, and every time he booted up 14, it was like an airplane taking off. Like it just went.
That's so real.
I'm like, oh my
Johnny's fucking
god!
laptop did it too. We're at the hotel.
I did.
Turn it on. A jet engine would start up.
Yep,
Like,
it's crazy.
I live like this.
So yeah, I'm sure that's still the case because you do need to cool. I mean, graphics cards still need to cool down. So, anyways, yeah, gaming laptop if you want it. It's got Intel Core. I hope that's what it looks like. That would be so funny.
Ooh, just
I love that.
It would be like
I just love how
no 14 branding at all.
no.
I love how big the Intel logo is compared to the Alienware one. I feel like the Alienware one should be bigger.
I was surprised because I saw the picture first and I'm like, oh, an Intel crossover like with 14, but no,
Yeah.
it's Alienware, baby.
Exactly.
So yeah, there you go. Okay, so there you go. Join that. You'll find more information on the Lodestone. Check it out. PAX Australia.
Yay.
Australia, or as Mailer likes to call it, PAX East.
PAX
It is
East.
PAX East to me.
Yeah, this is East for Mela. This is the last of the PAX shows, I think, or the conventions, I think.
I think for the year, yeah.
Yeah. We are delighted to announce that Final Fantasy XIV will be returning to PAX Australia in Melbourne this October to reunite with all the Warriors of Light down under. We're inviting seasoned adventurers to battle against Valigarmanda, newcomers to challenge an empty... Sorry, not empty.
Early primal battle.
An empty room.
Challenge an early primal battle, and encouraging everyone to snap a picture in your photo spot and get their hands on some goodies. We will also be hosting a special panel with senior story designer Natsuko Ishikawa and quest designer Saki Takanyagi that you won't...
Takanagi.
Yeah, okay, that you won't want to miss. A fan celebration will also be hosted in Melbourne in the evening of Wednesday, the 9th of October, where both 14 veterans...
I'm working.
Where both 14 veterans and new adventurers are welcome to join in. So this starts
What
on
about patrons? If it's like, is it
patreon.com/PAXWest?
No.
I
Patrons
would
of the establishment.
Oh,
I would suspect that they booked out the whole pub.
Oh,
Mailer.
okay.
I see.
That'd be so funny. Just
Yeah.
a couple of old guys in the corner just sipping their lagers. What's going on?
So this starts on the 11th Friday, 11th of October. Oh my lord. Through Sunday, the 13th of October. At Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre. One Convention Centre Plaza?
Yeah, place.
South Wharf, 3006, Melbourne, Australia.
Thanks for the postcode.
Oh, a lot of wharfs.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a developer panel, crafting characters, the style and substance of Final Fantasy XIV. Join senior story designer Natsuko Ishikawa and quest designer Saki Takayanagi. I keep missing one A in there. Okay, as they explore the intricate process of bringing memorable characters to life. Starting from initial concepts through to their final in-game personas, listen to the two share their knowledge and experiences regarding the design and storytelling of a colorful cast of characters. This is taking place at the Melbourne Convention and Exhibition Centre Main Theatre on the Saturday, 12th of October from 2... Sorry, let's just use local time here. From 1 p.m. till 2 p.m., so it's an hour long.
Well, 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. GMT. What time is that EU?
3?
Just an hour late.
No, 4.
3 BS you said before.
It's 4. I mean, is that coverable? Because they will stream this.
4 a.m.
Not for you, Mailer. You'll be asleep. I'm asking Lakil.
That'd be awesome.
because we have streamed that late before on us, because this will be a Friday stream.
This will be a Friday stream.
Oh yeah, it'll be a Saturday morning. Yeah.
I mean, this is not impossible. I mean, is this
It's not
something
impossible.
we need to talk about it?
Well,
We'll talk about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
in a few weeks' time. So
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah.
Because
Is it-
I also don't know if I'm even going to go here, because this is fucking $75 for a day.
Mm.
Because they've
Oh, yeah.
run out of full weekend panels, weekend attendance thingies, whatever you call them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, we'll talk about it. Panel attendees will also receive a poster,
Oh.
which is the expansion poster.
Oh.
Wow.
I love that
It'll
it says
be like A5.
it
No.
says at the bottom though, design is not final and subject to change.
I think that's saying that like they could decide to give you any poster.
Yeah.
This is just an example of one.
Get like leftover A Realm Reborn poster from like launch.
I'd rather that. Probably rarer.
Worth more
Unsold
probably.
stock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it'll be available for streaming Twitch on the 14 Twitch and the PAX Twitch channel. There's also a battle challenge where you get participants will receive a Tor Tural inspired Dawn Trail bucket hat and a commemorative I've Beat Valigarmanda sticker. So
Participants.
Sticker.
So you get the sticker, you get the I Beat Valagamanda sticker, even if you don't win.
yeah, you get participation trophies in this fight.
Wow, it's
Wow.
Australian players. They're even
I mean,
worse
I-
than the EU ones for content.
I mean, I guess I won't have to worry about it if I did go, because I do kind of want a hat.
Yeah.
I want to wear it on a podcast because it's stupid.
Yeah. It is.
it is different. It's cute.
Yeah. Okay. The usual stuff that you expect. There's also a reward for recruiters. Receive a
These-
Good King Mogglmog the 12th pin when you sign up a new player to the free trial booth.
At the booth specifically.
Yeah.
Come on,
Sign up, put your details in.
random person. I'm signing up to 14.
It's such a nice pin.
It's cool though.
It is
I
a
like
nice
this.
pin.
It's a really
it's an
nice
enamel
pin.
pin, so you know it's real.
We love
but
enamel
see,
pins.
the difficulty I was talking to Mailer about is that you have to get someone to come with you to PAX.
Yeah.
If it's going to be someone you already know, and that's a $75 commitment.
Yeah, it's a
true.
lot.
And
Well,
then the new players will receive an exclusive Pinny Arcade Moogle pin. So,
Again, it's a pretty nice pin.
so the recruiter gets the king, and the recruitee gets a Moogle pin. So you know,
It's this
Pretty
while
good.
supplies last, so get in early.
yeah,
Because you'd be
I'm
pretty
gonna-
angry if you didn't get one.
I'm going to guess this. Not many people are going to be given away because it's the barrier to entry
Yeah.
to get these pins is very high.
that's true.
That's true.
That's true. There's also a photo area where you can take a shot. You know, this is the usual stuff that we see again. There's also a special fan celebration will be hosted in Melbourne on the evening of Wednesday, the 9th of October, where both 14 veterans,
2
like I
days
said,
before the event.
yes, where veterans and new adventurers are welcome to join in. That is at the ACMI Federation Square, Flinders Street, Melbourne, Victoria, 3000, Australia.
Oh.
Why you don't have to
3,000.
mention the postcode.
No,
also,
no.
Because
We have
that's
to.
the
It's part
wharf
of it.
was 3006 or something. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's 6 postcodes down.
Yeah, yeah.
Acme is where
Acme.
the Yoshi-P... well, you can say ACMI if you
Oh,
want.
okay.
Is where the Yoshi-P talk is happening earlier in the week as well. It stands for the Australia's National Museum of Screen Talk.
Ah, okay. I see. That's on the 9th of October from 7 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. Australia.
Wow, Georgie will be there for sure. So get yourself down to Acme.
I will be at the I will be at Yoshi-P's talk. I won't be at the fan gathering.
The
He'll be there. Georgie will be there with a temporary
Georgie
tattoo.
will be there, and activities will include themed drinks, a raffle, temporary tattoo station, which Georgie has promised he will get a face tattoo, special guests and more.
Temporary tattoo. I've already sent you a picture of me having one
But
that
this
Rollo had to
one-
apply on
this
me.
one's
But
a
this
full
one
face
in the
tattoo.
full face, one that covers your whole
They
face.
aren't that.
Yeah,
They aren't
like
that big,
like an
disappointingly.
ancient mask.
If they
And
had
special
one
guest will
like
be
that,
Georgie Weston.
if they had one that was that big, I would be willing to do it as a joke. But they literally are not.
No, okay, I see. We have 300 spots available for this fan celebration. To apply for up to 2 slots, please follow the link to Eventbrite. Oh, Eventbrite.
I hate Eventbrite.
Yeah, applications will open on Friday the 6th of September 2024 at 6 p.m. Australia time. So.
It's sold out.
It's sold out
Is
already.
it?
So there you go. Breaking news. Sold out.
I'm not sure. I'm not shocked
No.
at all. I mean, the Yoshi-P's talk was open to 1,000 people initially, and then they gave it for more. Then they opened it up to more tickets. So the fact that this, which is a fraction of that, is sold out is unsurprising.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, so there you go. That's for the Australians out there. Moving.
What was that accent? It was almost New Zealander.
It was. I don't know what happened. We're moving on.
He's trying his best.
I didn't try.
Well, it's still his best.
We're moving on to Tokyo Game Show. 14, Final Fantasy 14, that is, will be attending this year's Tokyo Game Show at Makuhari Mess in Chiba, Japan. From Thursday the 26th of September.
Why did you say Japan with such like confusion?
I don't know. It's like, wait, Tokyo Game Show in Japan?
Game shows in Japan?
Wow, we've gone worldwide. From Thursday, 26th of September through Sunday, the 29th. If you're visiting the show, if you're visiting the show, be sure to stop by the booth for various Final Fantasy 14 activities and photo ops. Additionally, we'll be broadcasting the letter from the producer live, part 83.
83.
Yeah, so be sure to tune in for the latest updates. It's starting to get ridiculous with the Roman numerals. I think they should have done what we did.
We should have kept going.
We converted
we should've
to
kept going.
Arabic numbers at like after XXX, I think, episode 30 something. I think is when we wanted
30
to.
is a perfect episode to end it on.
Yeah. It was impossible to like search up an episode. Like you had to like remember the Roman numeral to find an episode number.
Well, the Romans managed.
But we're not
I
Roman.
don't think Romans didn't have SEO.
They didn't have SEO in Rome.
You don't know that.
Yeah, you don't know that. They were always optimizing.
Yeah.
Ancient Roman SEO.
Trying to find live letters is pretty dumb now because you have to like you literally have to do what you did to find the old speakers episodes. You had to remember the Roman numeral. I think maybe the title of YouTube videos have the normal number in it.
I don't know if the titles of the YouTube videos do, but I think they might have it in the search tag.
I hope so. Okay. Anyways, Tokyo Game Show. Additionally, we'll talk about this in a second, but they will be broadcasting the letter from the producer live, like I said. So be sure to tune in for the latest updates. The Tokyo Game Show 2024 event starts on the 26th of September, like I said, until the 29th. Am I just reading the same thing? Did they just repeat it? They did.
No, they just repeated it. Yeah, they just repeated it.
Okay. So there you go. They will be there. We'll talk about the live letter stuff in a second. So that's it. I just wanted to let you know Tokyo Game Show is kicking off on Thursday, the 26th of September, and 14 will have a presence there.
They announced other events, but they barely described anything that's not the live letter.
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is sooner than PAX Australia.
Yes. Let's just talk about it. Letter from the producer live. It will be broadcast live from the Tokyo Game Show 2024. Join us for an early peek at what's to come in patch 7.1. So that's on the 29th of September at lovely times, 6:50 a.m. BST. That's 7:50 for Central Europe. And 3:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Time.
And ridiculously early for America.
For America, it would be
just after midnight for Eastern. It'd be like 10
it'd be like
to midnight, I think, or something.
Yes.
Or 10 to 1.
It's 10 to midnight, I think. 7.
That's not too bad, I guess.
No, it's 10 to 2, 10 to
10
2
to 2.
a.m.
10 to 2 or 10 to 2, 1:50.
for Eastern.
It's pretty, you got to stay up for it, but, power through. It's a Sunday.
That is true.
It is a Sunday. It is a weekend. Mela and I were also talking about there's a very unusually specific start time.
Very
10 to the hour.
Yes.
Really
Now, they
confusing.
do also specify that this, it doesn't say that here, but in the initial announcement on the Lodestone, I think they specified that it would be a very short because a short live letter
It's
due to
about
time constraints
an hour and
by
a half, wasn't
Tokyo
it?
It's
Game.
an hour and a half long.
Yeah. So that's why they're starting so weirdly at weird
Well, we
times, I
can
guess.
predict with this. So it says it's the first 7.1. We might only get one live letter, but 29th September. So we are really looking at maybe even into November for 7.1.
Yeah.
I would suspect so at this point, because normally the second part is like approximately 3 to 4 weeks after the first live letter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
so-
roughly 2 weeks before the patch itself, 1 or 2 weeks before. So
Quite
so
a slow
mid-November.
release. That's okay.
yeah.
So they've got some interesting things lined up. It seems.
Yeah. So yeah, on the agenda is patch 7.1 part 1 and then miscellaneous updates. I am sure during that live letter they're going to go through the character stuff that we're going to talk about later to show us some stuff that they're going to adjust.
I don't waste time on that at TGS.
Oh, you know it's going to happen. So
And there's some merch as well.
yes.
No, I don't think they don't normally do merch at like events like this. They don't have time.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little blurb here. There's no slide for this, but it's a little bit of a tidbit from an interview. So that's, by the way, that's a letter from the producer live. We'll be covering it, of course. So be there. There was an interview when Famitsu with Sakaguchi and Yoshida. It's not really about 14. It's what is this like? What is Fantasian? Because I've seen the poster.
Oh, it was that. It was on Apple Arcade
game?
only. It was like a little
Yeah,
RPG.
they used like real pictures of dioramas for the background. It looks really, really good.
It
Oh,
was very
that's
pretty.
interesting.
And CS3 is helping to port it to other systems.
Oh,
Yeah.
I need to check
Because
that
it was
out.
only on Apple Arcade, you couldn't even buy it. You had to have Apple Arcade. which
Yeah,
was
you'd have
awkward.
the dumb. That's so dumb.
Yeah,
Oh.
it was really stupid. So no one.
Apple
yeah,
Arcade,
that's
as in like
right.
the app on
The
the
subscription
iPhone.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, like the subscription thing, like the.
Yeah. You couldn't just
Oh.
buy the game or anything. It
How
was really
strange!
weird.
What a weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he got enough money from Apple or something.
I would
Yeah.
hope so.
Worth
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
It's such a weird exclusive platform.
Yeah.
Especially for Sakaguchi, you know?
Yes.
Like a
Yeah.
Sakaguchi game.
Yeah.
If it's
Oh,
on Steam, they'll probably pick it up. It looked kind of cool. I
Yeah.
liked the design.
I'm glad I waited.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. So in this interview about that specifically, there is a little piece here that's worth mentioning. So Sakaguchi says, content like dungeons this expansion have had a moderate level of challenge to them. It's been very enjoyable. Yoshida says, when it comes to the difficulty of the content, there were some opinions like, isn't this too difficult for casual players? But that feedback has continued to die down. On the other hand, both in Japan and internationally, there's been a lot of feedback that this much difficulty is fun. So I think we'll continue along this path for now.
Thank
Perfect.
you.
There we
Yeah.
go.
Those other guys, shut up. They're leaving or getting better.
Yeah.
So don't listen to them.
Yeah, it's good for now. We won this battle. We'll see how long it lasts. Okay, moving on. We have we talked about the what was the
PAX panel.
the PAX panel where we saw some statistics.
It was
Last-
console
last
versus
week-
PC.
No, it wasn't that. It was controller versus
Oh, sorry.
keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
That
keyboard
was last
versus-
week.
oh, that's
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Now we have a control scheme usage across North America, Europe, and Japan. I was a little surprised, but I think that's just because I keep getting Mela keeps saying that Legacy is shit.
Yeah, so-
What?
I feel
Play standard?
Mela's play standard. Yeah,
What?
I
the
play
fuck?
standard too.
yeah.
What?
I have these two
And
that
it's
play
way better.
standard, and I play Legacy, obviously, but.
Anyone who opts into Legacy is quite simply a...
Which is
Legacy
strange
boy.
because Mela is such like a old school fart man in everything else, but for control scheme for some reason he has
It's because-
adapted to the,
no,
the
it's because-
Fortnite
it's-
style.
It's
Standard
because
is-
well, no, standard is how it works in WoW as well.
Yeah, and most
Oh,
MMOs. So
I
standard is
see.
the oldest fashioned.
I see.
So this is
Okay.
Legacy is
legacy for
legacy for
us.
14, but standard is legacy for MMOs in general.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
should explain what the difference is because standard and legacy makes no fucking sense.
No.
And I always
No.
have to look it up every time. I'm curious, but it's just camera-based movement versus non-camera-based movement.
Yeah.
Where standard, you have camera-based movement. WASD or whatever will move you whatever your camera is facing forward. And legacy is not that. You
Yeah.
can tap S.
It's
and you won't walk
character-based.
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll
Yeah.
run backwards.
You will, which that's like such a pivotal thing in this game. I don't like.
Yeah, in standard
Imagining
mode,
someone slowly going like this to dodge like a fucking like.
oh,
a
do you
gaze,
have to
like,
you have to turn your camera then to like move away?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that's like.
Oh
what
my
the-
god!
why?
Imagine if I streamed like that. The stream would be unwatchable.
Yeah, like,
No.
God.
just
Fine.
tap S. And then also,
You make it sound like the camera is moving like
Well, it's
You're
during
not that
during
different.
fights, you
Unwatchably.
have to move. You know,
No, it's not too bad. Don't worry.
and then also
I
'cause
haven't
the
used
auto
it, so I don't
target
know.
in 14, it just makes standard so much worse because your character, I don't think it won't face as well when you're in standard, right? Like it causes movement issues
I don't
do you
know
mean?
anything about standard
with,
because I
the
don't,
au-
don't touch
with
that.
auto target, like face target on.
Uh-huh. What
No.
face?
Skill.
I don't know.
Because I remember using it one time, like I tried it once.
It can do, but I don't. It depends. It can be an issue on both control schemes, I think, in terms of some things that snap you towards the
Yeah.
target.
Like I think melee specifically, playing that on standard and trying to move and attack, it's just really bad experience. Really bad experience.
Yeah. I've had standard when I create a new character, obviously it goes into standard and I like it's alien to me. I can't do that. Like I don't like moving the like no, it just I remember vaguely how it feels, but I always
It
change
feels like I'm
immediately.
playing like Dragon Age Origins or something.
but when
you know, like it's weird.
Yeah, because in Legacy you can turn your character without moving the camera, like with WASD.
Yeah.
yes.
But in standard you have to move the camera as well, right? How does
What?
this what does
Okay, in Legacy, if you press A and D, your character will run in those directions, so you can't pivot on the spot. Whereas in Standard, your character will pivot on the spot.
but you use Q and E to you mean to strafe?
No. To
Q&E
pivot,
is-
just
Oh, to
Q and
turn
E is
like,
straight, to turn
turn
around,
on the
turn
spot.
on the spot. You can't do that in Legacy.
you what
I just changed
That's
A
the
and D.
difference in the
I just press
controls.
W, and then if I want to turn around, I press S, and my character
No, but
instantly
you can't.
turns.
You can't pivot though. You can't. That's the difference in the
Pivot?
controls. 'Cause when
You've
you press,
Pivot.
Pivot is move.
Pivot.
Move it. What Mailer means is you are turning your character, but you aren't moving in any direction. You are you're
You're
rooted to the spot
stationary.
still.
but you pivot.
There's
and the
no
camera will
situation
Oh, but you
Wait,
just
do
hold the
that.
right. You just hold the right button down. No, you don't. Well, what?
If
in
you
what
have, if you don't
mechanic
touch
do you
the mouse,
do that?
This is just to. This is just.
Oh yeah, I'm just trying to find the use of. Okay, this is so alien.
I know. I hear it. I'm like, this.
I don't
fucking
understand the
unplayable.
control scheme, but it's fine.
It's
Okay.
literally it's classic MMO. It's very simple, and both of them are very simple to play. Like neither of them are alien to each other that
It's
much.
just
They're
the-
very easy to play.
it's so disgusting when you walk backwards and it's so slow. Like, ew. What?
Yeah, that I remember. That I know that happens.
Turn around
And
and run.
that will kill
it's
you.
not hard.
slowly hold
That
like A or
requires the
D.
camera to be turned around.
Slowly
The
hold,
only
you just
thing about
run the
the
camera,
only
you fucking maniac.
But I like seeing the boss at all times. So like
I
when,
do too.
Yeah.
The only thing I like about Legacy personally is the fact that S like turns your character without having to. It gets your character to actually like walk backwards rather than just like step backwards.
Yeah.
And of
That's the
course,
main thing I would want from Legacy.
there's the unspoken benefit people don't like to mention. You can do the spin when you jump.
Well, that's true
Yes,
as
I've been
well.
told.
That is
Yeah.
like
Well,
yeah.
that's like the ultimate stim in 14. Is
Yeah,
guess
my
so.
friend,
jumping on the mount, little spin, little ollie, real quick.
Yeah.
my friend
Good.
who
Can't
told
do that
me,
standard.
my friend who uses Legacy was like shocked when I told him that you can't do that on standard.
Unplayable. Literally unplayable.
It's like you're playing a different game in that aspect. Okay, well that's interesting. Anyways, for those that are our audio listeners, Legacy is by far the in use by the majority. North America 69% to 31% standard. Europe 65% to 35% standard. Japan 97% to 3% standard. That's crazy.
I think it's because Legacy is the default on a controller. I correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a controller player, but I believe that's the case.
That would definitely make sense, I think, because
whenever you tilt back on the controller, you always just face backwards. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think controller players can like walk backwards at all.
Right.
Not that I know
So there you go. That's some interesting statistics. Moving right along. This weird shit. There are some known issues with some summoner/scholar traits. This was posted to the Lodestone. We have identified the issues below with the summoner's arcane mastery trait and the scholar's enhanced healing magic trait. So, for the summoner trait, arcane mastery, raised potency not activating for the following abilities: Inferno, Earth and Fury, and Aerial Blast. So that's the
those are the demi-primal skills.
Yeah, demi-primal,
Some of your highest damage skills too, by the way.
Yeah. And then for the scholar trait, enhanced healing magic, raised potency for healing and shielding effect not activating for the following abilities: Embrace and Seraphic Veil.
there you go. You got a get out of jail free card for your healing recently.
Yeah.
That's just the auto for the
fairy. Yeah. After investigation, we confirmed that due to this issue, incorrect values were being used in battle balance adjustments in the dev environment for the jobs in question, since potency and healing/shielding effects were not being enhanced for these abilities. However, since the issue is not having any direct impact to battle balance as it is now with its current values, it will instead be fixed in tandem with job adjustments in patch 7.1. We apologize for the inconvenience.
Okay.
You will have shit summoner. That's what you gotta deal with.
I'll be happy to wait another. This is a much bigger problem for summoners than it is for scholars.
Yeah.
But happy to wait another 2 months and some weeks.
What?
They're basically saying they balance the game around not having these in anyway because of the dev environment. So it's irrelevant.
So it is adding up, but it is very strange.
If they fixed it now, summoners and scholars would suddenly be out of whack.
Very strong.
Insanely strong.
Yeah.
Apparently.
You go first.
Well,
apparently this was reported as a bug on the official forums like day 1 of early access. And then it was not acted upon at all or commented because apparently the player didn't give enough information in the post. But like they gave more than enough information, like it says like, oh, this trait isn't working when this instances and scenarios, whatever. And then it was just moved to the not enough info thread and that's it. Like they'd known since the start and they.
What is going on? Yeah, that's okay. Well, maybe they were like, guys, if this is true, we've like balanced the job.
Bury it right now.
Like,
we gotta deal with that later.
Well, it's not they balance. They haven't balanced the job. They balanced the content around the amount of damage it was doing.
Yeah, so you can imagine how much work it will be to like rebalance.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
So it's a big job to fix.
Save it for later, I would.
Yeah.
Apparently, it is an issue a lot with OF threads. By the way, reporting bugs where it's like you can be very detailed, and then all of a sudden, in your bug report, and then it just gets sent to the dumpster.
Yeah.
With like nothing for like no reason. It's very strange.
Yeah.
It's also the only place they will pick up on issues. So that's good, isn't it?
It is strange. It is all the official forums is.
I hate the official forums.
It is a bad place.
I appreciate that it exists, though.
I appreciate it too.
I like forums.
I've not been on a BB forum for a long ass time.
Yeah. It is also a place to go for some prime entertainment.
Oh,
there are some freaks out there.
That is where all the crybabies go. For sure.
See, that's why forums will rule supreme forever. There's like there's just weirdos built into it, you know?
It's true.
Yep.
It's true. Okay. Moving on. More. This is the big one, though. This is the feedback on character models, on player character models. Buckle up, folks. This is a long one. It's from Yoshi-P. Hello, everyone. Producer and director Naoki Yoshida here. I'd like to thank everyone for your feedback on the first phase of the graphical update released alongside patch 7.0. While we've received a lot of praise and seen some impressive screenshots, we've also received a fair number of comments regarding issues with the finer details of character models. Most of this feedback has come from our, you guessed it, forums.
Burn the forums.
The development team, operations team, and QA team have carefully reviewed everyone's concerns, including posts made on various social media platforms, and held thorough discussions and tests to determine the best way forward. Although I can't respond to every comment individually, I would like to personally provide an update on player character models. Namely, I would like to address certain bugs and feedback, then illustrate our policies and what items are considered spec. There is a lot to go over, and the discussion will involve some technical terminology, so I apologize for the length. Now, I will say just before we dive into this, I did not know that there were any issues with character models at all. I've not know. I mean, I play as a Hure, so obviously it's very little.
Some of the stuff they mentioned I thought was like the feature.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I thought it was like, oh, that's like a neat look to it. That's cool.
Yeah. But yeah, there's apparently issues, and so let's see. Rough timelines and policies for upcoming fixes. Independent of the specific areas addressed, we were able to divide feedback into several categories. I will provide examples of issues for each, as well as an update on the details and timeline of plans to address them. 1. Noticeable changes due to the improvement of polygons and normal mapping. As a result of the graphics update, the increased number of polygons and the improved accuracy of a form of bump mapping called normal mapping have caused character model parts to appear slightly different than they did up until patch 6.58.
No.
Really now?
Different.
Unexpected?
Slightly different.
Below is a non-exhaustive list of the issues reported. These issues occur with specific race/face types and are not universal. Okay, so here we go. The depth of the area from below the nose to the upper lip, the philtrum has become more pronounced.
Mm-hmm.
Unplayable.
Did it say for all races or for some faces?
No, it's not specific. It's not universal.
With specific race/face types and are not universal. The slight corners of polygons originally present disappear when viewed at a downward camera angle of approximately 45 degrees.
Okay.
That's actually an issue because it's like it causes a visual like you are essentially seeing nothing where there should be something.
Okay.
That's a bigger issue.
Okay. Skin.
I like how you initially were like.
It sounds.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
fuck off. This
like
sounds
45 degrees. Like, someone's like really been like trying.
This is why your bugs are going
that's
through.
That's an angle that you will see your character at relatively frequently.
Okay. Skin blemishes, redness, and pores are more noticeable with certain face types.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's.
Well, I think with L's in particular, they have a very haunted look to them, I guess.
Like haunted look.
I don't know how to say it.
Very spooky look.
Like
They've done a lot of bad things.
I feel like the eyes seem more tired.
I know what you mean though.
If like maybe like almost more.
Well, they're scholars.
daunting.
Allison is all scholars. They should be tired and look depressed and haggard.
Okay.
Haggard, yeah. I don't think it looks bad, by the way.
They look haggard. Just a little haggard. They're fine.
Yeah.
Certain face types have thicker or darker colored lips.
Oh.
Isn't
Alright.
that on purpose?
That's
I
already-
thought Yoshi-P said, we're
already-
going to make the lips so fucking sexy, dude. And they're going to be so
Yeah.
fat and
Oh,
juicy
yeah.
and suckable.
I mean, some people have thicker lips. Isn't that normal?
Yeah.
Don't we want variety, or does everyone have to look the same?
I mean, there's like 5 different lips for every face. And they're
Yeah,
not all
I'm
the
sure you
same
can make it look
lips,
fine.
but
Well, I'm sure this is. I mean, they've picked this up as an issue, so I guess it is.
it would have been nice if there was an example.
Yes.
A
Yeah,
visual
I
to go.
I want
It's a
some
very
visuals
weird
on this.
description.
You'll
This would
see
be
the
even
examples
longer
during
with
the live letter during Tokyo. The
Oh.
we'll get half an hour of news and then 1 hour of going through all the character models. Thanks, official forum. The corners of the mouth appear to be lifted or lowered with certain face types.
This is one that I'm aware of because I believe my character experiences it, but it's not something that I thought was a problem. I thought it was a feature. Before my character had a more of a neutral facial expression, similar to Mailer's, except like Mailer's has a sort
Mela
of
has
like murder behind
resting
his eyes.
bitch face.
Oh,
Yes,
fuck you.
exactly.
Yeah.
You picked
Yeah.
your character because
I
of the
love how
murder
she
behind
looks.
her eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my character now I think has a slight raising of the lips at the
You
edges so
smiling?
that they look happier than they used to, which
Ah.
I don't dislike. But
Okay.
I imagine that some people pick this faceplate without that intended.
That's fair.
Yes. The shape of polygons around the eyes, including the eye bags and inner eyeshadow, appear slightly different with certain face types.
See, this is the part I was thinking of, where I think some L's in particular have this weird eye bags, I guess, almost.
Okay.
The issue here is if this graphical update is meant to represent the initial vision for these faceplates, and it was just something they couldn't represent before, i.e., a slight smile or, dark eyes, then that's fine. But I mean, it's
But
difficult.
it's not why
to know
people
whether
selected them initially.
Well, that's the trouble, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
a tough one for them.
Yeah.
Maybe they should revert the whole graphics update.
Maybe we should go
No, I
back.
don't
yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go back. If people can't be happy with it, let's just go back.
While these are, oh god, I have to. Yeah, because I saw when I was reading that list, I had literally just on Twitter seen someone's screenshot of their heavily modded 14,
Oh, no.
and it
Not
was
the
like
mod
the
beats.
IMVU like Second Life.
They look
look
so
with the-
monstrous.
with the
Disgusting.
glossy skin and the like
Oh.
weird like glossy. I'm like, these are the people that are complaining that the characters look
Yeah,
too
for
realistic for sure.
I
But
don't think so.
No, there are people that have the base game that have this issue as well.
I just like to villain. I need a villain, you know,
Yeah.
You're trying to
and
villainize
that has to
a
be
lot
the
of
villain to
stuff,
me. I just need a villain.
The mod beasts, we're coming for you.
Yeah. While these are just a few examples, we intend to make adjustments and corrections wherever possible in patch 7.1. Our aim is to modify polygon shapes and normal mapping accuracy in such a way that our changes don't appear drastic when compared to current data. As noted previously, these issues are a result of the improvements made to graphical and computational accuracy, which have resulted in smoother visuals and a clearer representation of what was intended by the original data. However, differences, even if minor, can be seen when compared to patch 6.58 and prior, and after extensive testing, we will do our best to fix these discrepancies.
So it was meant to be more accurate to what the original vision was.
Yes.
So you should just suck it up.
Okay. 2. Feedback on eyelashes and eyebrows. Most feedback received on eyelashes and eyebrows falls into the previous category, but we've found that many players are satisfied with the current resolution and shapes. Therefore, we will take caution when proceeding with adjustments.
It's not my eyelashes.
Eyelashes in particular are being affected by several issues. With the improved accuracy of semi-transparent rendering, more light is transmitted, making eyelashes appear thinner. We also layered multiple textures in order to make up for their low resolution, but with the recent resolution increase, this resulted in darker eyelashes. When we decreased the number of textures to accommodate, noticeable differences emerged. It should be noted, however, this issue only affects a select few face types. As with the first category, we intend to address this issue in patch 7.1. I mean, I don't play a female character. I feel like it's probably more prevalent in a female character, but I have never noticed my character's eyelashes probably ever.
No.
So
People shouldn't be this invested in their characters' eyelashes, but as long as it
we can't
as long
dictate
as it
what
gets
people.
sorted.
No, the people.
Europeans.
Europeans.
Of
Yeah,
course.
of
Yeah.
course.
No, I remember a lot of JP players actually. They would comment in English, or I saw a translated post too. A lot of people were like actually quitting after the first graphics update
No.
change, because they were just very upset with how the characters change.
That's wild.
Which I mean, hey, that's their prerogative. I understand if that's what they really.
But I'm sure there
That's
are
the most
mods.
important part of the game for them.
Do you think there are
Well-
mods for to like
Eyelashes,
revert
probably.
to the
Revert?
old?
Oh,
Not
I don't
that
think it's
far,
possible.
probably.
It doesn't
Oh,
have
no,
the
I don't
same,
think it is because of how
bones.
the
Oh, okay.
But if
graphically
you're that
it's
upset
changed.
about it, just put your character in like
But I'm
the
sure there's, like-
normal tin can armor.
There's probably a way to get close though. Like there are probably mods
yeah,
to like
yeah.
revert
There's a
the
problem.
There's
textures
probably
and stuff.
ways to sort of like fake it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go. I mean, it is surprising that we don't have. Like, is there even an option to change your eyelashes in the character creator?
You can have like makeup and stuff.
But
like-
not like there's not an
Some-
eyelashes option.
No.
Some races, I'm pretty sure,
It's like a
have
faceplate that has them.
yeah, depending on the faceplate, they can have like the optional toggle.
It's like a
for-
face feature thing.
yeah, the face feature, like without eyebrows too. You can intensify them on some.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I think it's there.
Interesting. That's something we. They're not. Well, actually, I'm not going to get ahead of myself. There's something interesting being said in this document further down. Okay. So, anyways, we're moving on. 3, time-sensitive adjustments.
Intensive.
Oh, sorry, time-intensive adjustments. Among the items listed in points 1 and 2, some of the feedback-based adjustments we are considering for specific races and face types have the potential to drastically impact program processing or character facial expressions. This is not to say that the adjustments won't be made, only that we will need extra time to make the necessary corrections. Some examples of these issues include A. We've now moved on to letters. We've gone from numbers, now we're on to letters.
Well, this is
Because
the
we're
letters
within
in-
number
this
3.
particular-
These are sub,
Yeah.
sub
Yes.
3A, we've moved on. Inconsistent eyelash facing.
Oh god, they're facing inwards.
This also concerns the eyelash issue, but specifically addresses feedback on how the direction eyelashes grow and are oriented has been affected.
This is just insane. Are they
Some
going
people were like,
sideways?
some people were like, I'm gonna fucking zoom in on everything and make sure everything's fucking perfect. Like, this eyelashes are growing the wrong way.
I feel like this would have been noticed in their first pass though, if they were
Yeah,
like,
that's
going
true.
sideways or inwards.
Some of this I'm surprised past QA, but it did, I guess. The graphics update applied to eyelids introduced higher quality polygons and normal mapping, which in turn caused some eyelashes to appear to face or grow in slightly different directions.
Oh no.
Correcting this issue will entail work of a considerably meticulous nature, and care must be taken
Yep.
to avoid introducing problems to facial expressions, such as having
get a petition
eyelashes appear to jump out or float during the movements.
Your eyelashes get left behind every time.
I mean, we've seen how like the smallest of changes can cause very bizarre things. Remember the pizza face?
Oh, yeah.
I love
yeah.
the pizza face.
I miss all about pizza face
Oh, that
already.
was so funny.
Yeah.
They should just keep these in as
So-
so works.
That's the impression that I've gotten from what he's
Oh.
saying there is that like
I'm gonna Google
you could
pizza
get
face.
maybe not as extreme as the pizza face, but you might get like your eyebrows or eyelashes doing very strange things when you're like I don't know, reading a book.
Yeah. Taking these difficulties into account, eyelash adjustments may not be completed before the release of patch 7.1. Furthermore, there may be some cases
idea.
where new problems occur no matter what adjustments we try to make, so please be prepared for the possibility that certain instances of this issue must be left in their current state.
I mean, I'm just about ready to quit after that.
Yeah,
but-
that's... I mean, we're joking. I mean, I understand if this is an issue.
If you notice it,
Mela,
that's the
we
thing.
don't.
Once
We
you
clearly
notice
don't
it-
care enough about our character to be upset by
I know
this.
some people really
Well,
do.
Yeah.
It's
But
only
also
some
when you
characters
notice these
too.
things.
Yeah.
Or only some combinations of features.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Exactly.
also true. Yeah. Okay. B. Rounding of jawlines and changed smiling expressions.
Could be Yoki's smile.
We have received feedback that the jawline for certain
Yogi Weston smile.
face variations is more rounded when compared to patch 6.58. We found that the difference experienced in some cases could be attributed to the lighting update, but for others, there was a slight but definitive change to the curve of the polygons. The issue is related to the factor discussed in point 1, wherein an increase in polygons has resulted in a smoother looking jaw. Going forward, we will be making small adjustments to revert the affected jawlines as close as possible to their 6.58 appearance.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
That seems like an issue. That's like a real issue, I think.
That's definitely one of those subtle things where I think if it did change enough and you look at your character, you'd be like, something's really off.
Yeah.
But it's very
Yeah.
hard to tell because like the jaw, well, even with the multiple jaw options, it's kind of hard to see exactly
Yeah.
what's changing, but there is a difference.
Yeah.
It's it's difficult because of the graphical difference is not that significant that not everyone will notice, but like if you're the kind of person that looks for it, you will.
Yeah.
If an easier way to take this as an example would be like the difference between Lara Croft in like the Legacy Collection, where you can use the original very pointy model,
Yeah.
or the smoothed version of that, which results in her having obviously a smoother chin, which
Yeah.
is much more noticeable compared to like the block she had originally.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah. That said, many of the jaw's polygons are linked to the bones or rig of the character
The
model,
bones.
what you might call the body's bone data, and even minor tweaks could
The bone data.
and even minor tweaks could
Well, if
cause
you
problems with the data for changing facial expressions. This will require a lengthy process of careful
Yeah, I
changes
can
and testing,
imagine.
and it is likely adjustments won't be completed in time for patch 7.1. We have also received feedback that smiling expressions for a number of races feel different to how they were before, and a fix for this issue will be included in our planned adjustments. As outlined with the jaw issue above, however, this will entail corrections that link to the bone data, and tweaks to adjust smiling can potentially affect other expressions, requiring we spend sufficient time verifying a problem-free solution. We will proceed as quickly as possible,
Stop smiling.
but ask for your patience with what promises to be a time-consuming task.
I just hope that like some of these adjustments result in like, I don't know, like a Rogan and Rictus grin.
Yeah. Some of this is very strange because they're saying we received feedback that smiling expressions for a number of races feel different.
Yeah, it's so a lot of this
I
is
mean-
subjective, I think, compared to some of it's technical issues and some of it's subjective, like how you feel about
I
your
think,
character. Like,
yeah,
I fully appreciate people who felt that weird sort of disconnect from their characters before and after, but
yeah,
also, God, the amount of work they're now having to put into this, it's so much work for them.
yeah, and yeah, go on.
It's what they feel like spending their time on. So go
Yeah.
ahead.
I mean, sure, yeah. I'm just
And there's probably certain teams who do this who don't do much else. So it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. Okay, and then there's special processing effects. While not an extensively large amount, there are a number of issues which can only be resolved with new programming fixes. These cases will most likely be addressed in patch 7.2 or later,
It's too late.
due to program implementation and testing requirements. Some specific examples include, now these I will say are bigger problems, and you can tell when I read this following line. RE horns glowing red.
I thought that was a feature.
Yeah.
This is the one
Yeah.
where I was like, because I think we all noticed it when it has like the subsurface scattering.
Yeah.
almost,
Yeah,
it does. And I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. I guess like the horns are a bit more like light permeable, you know?
Yeah.
They gave it
Yeah.
a pretty.
I think it
would-
looked good.
Yeah, I thought it looked good, but I guess
it
that wasn't the intention.
Makes
So.
little sense when you read what it says here. The issue is the result of processing improvements that enhanced body textures by having sunlight and other light sources permeate, be absorbed, or be diffused when contacting skin. While the process itself functions correctly, the fact that RE horns have no blood vessels does indeed make for a strange sight when permeating sunlight creates a reddish glow. We plan to expand the processing parameters to account for this hiccup, but it will take some time. We apologize for this oversight. Yeah,
No,
the
it-
red
it
glow is
wasn't
from
his fault.
blood. There's
Well,
Yeah, it shouldn't glow that color. It should.
No.
It should definitely have a permeable light to it.
Yeah.
If they intend it to not be like a fully solid object.
Yeah.
But like, it shouldn't
hollow,
glow the
aren't
color
they?
that it has.
They're hollow, yeah. Essentially.
no, they
I
should.
don't think they're.
Don't they
they should
reverberate?
both.
Isn't
They
that how you hear?
reverberate, yeah.
They're like. I don't think they're fully hollow though. Like I think
No,
they're still
maybe
like.
not.
Like I
Also-
still think
Yeah.
there's like stuff inside it.
The thing about the blood vessels isn't right. It's very scary if that is the truth, because horns in animals, there's like a core, you know, like in antlers and deers and all that have blood vessels. They need blood, you know.
Well,
so
yeah.
it's weird to say that these horns don't have, because it wouldn't make. It makes less sense to say they don't have any blood at all.
Well, I think
But I don't think you would see anything if you shined a light through an animal's horn. Would you see red?
Wow, maybe.
Well, that's the question.
I mean they
What they need to do is probably take a trip to, a different country, because they like traveling, and then shine some lights through horns to see what works.
well there has to be some blood somewhere in those horns because they're
I mean, they're attached to our body.
they can hear through them. There has to be some sort of
It's our way of hearing. Yeah.
How do they
I mean,
grow?
unless it's all internal.
Or maybe it's like
Or
deer,
maybe-
where like they have a
or maybe
like
they
the skin on the
grow.
outside, you know,
Yeah.
the fuzz. But there's still a core is the thing. There should still
Yeah.
be a core.
There should be something.
Maybe the horns grow and then the skin falls off and then they're just dead horns.
So just
It's horrendous to think about, but there
Well,
you
they don't
go.
grow
I think
back,
just-
I think.
Just
if they-
keep it. Just keep it how they are because it looks cool.
Well, that's too late. That's being fixed now. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, two
sure,
patches, so
to
half
remove the
year.
red tint and just make it like more of
Or white or yellow or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Face paint appearing stretched and also I should say he says there are no blood vessels in aura horns.
Well, he says it, yeah.
Then that's how it is.
That's the lore
That's
now.
the lore.
That's
We
the
got
lore.
the lore in the and not even a patch
Yeah.
note.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
patch note.
Yep, that's just how that works now.
True Final Fantasy fans read everything.
Yes.
How do they
Yeah.
grow?
Well,
Mystery.
they maybe they have like temporary blood vessels when they grow, and then when they
No.
reach.
The
We're
only thing
born
that I
with
can
them full size.
the only
Oh.
thing that I can think of is that they function exactly like hair, but much bigger.
Yeah, I guess so. It
A
could.
massive follicle.
Yeah. Oh,
I like that. I don't like that at
I
all.
don't like that. No.
I don't like it either, but I'm trying to explain how they can exist without any blood vessels at all.
You have to go to the horn dresser and get like a little cut. When it gets too long, your horn's getting too long. Let's snip some of the horns off.
Well, because they don't grow back if they fall off or to get
Do-
damaged, right?
no,
Like,
I don't think
like
so.
that's it.
I guess so.
So-
Yeah, but that's just like hair for some people.
Are you telling me all rock can go bald in their horns? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, if they not that they go bald in their horns, but if they lose them, they won't grow back necessarily.
Please give me a bald horn option so I can have no
Okay.
horns. Just nothing on the side of my head.
Go
Need
on.
more bald
Just
prides,
like
for sure.
two open holes
Well,
in your head.
they all yeah. But Chad is correct. Oh, not only bald, deaf.
That's
Yeah.
And I can know all speech text bubbles are empty for me from now on.
Oh, that would be cool.
On
That'd be cool.
immersion.
Okay, we need to move on. Face paint appearing stretched and smudged when making certain facial expressions. This issue is mainly a result of increased polygon count, but as face paint shares the same texture across every race, it is not possible to make changes that target specific expressions of specific races. We're currently seeking an alternative solution and apologize that a fix could not be found in time for patch 7.1. We ask for your patience as we continue to work on this issue. Not even 7.2 estimate there, so that one might be further away.
I wonder if that's similar, but it might not be. The facial markings of Mikote, a bunch of people have been making the point that they're a little bit lower
Resolution.
resolution. So I wonder if this is at all related to that. But the facial markings for male Makoto are obviously exclusive to one race. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed this when I was just trying out the esthetician or whatever, and I put the X, like the big X.
Oh,
that you
yeah.
can get. I noticed that was like looking kind of weird.
Yeah.
When I was doing the expressions, I was like, oh, that's. I mean, I'm using Face 2 female Makoto, so maybe I don't know. Maybe it was just for that face, but yeah, I noticed something off.
Yeah. Okay. So there you go. And then number 4, issues to be fixed. This section covers the issues that we failed to discover that are being observed in situations such as layering, simply on account of there being such in situations such as layering, simply on account of there being such massive amounts of data to review and process. It is impossible to provide a comprehensive list, but below are a few examples. So here we go. Beards and scars appear lighter on certain face types when paired with specific skin tones. That's a processing issue. The scales on the faces and bodies of Aura have a rough silhouette in certain areas, visible at higher resolutions. Hair floats slightly in certain areas. That's a polygon surface joining adjustment error.
I think I've seen that for some NPCs. Maybe not NPCs, maybe some players.
The mouth of certain NPCs appear to glow, which is a data issue. And here it is.
Too much Baja Blast.
The nose tip of certain Vieira faces appear extremely dark, which is an adjustment oversight. But has this not been a complaint since the first time they showed the Vieira for the graphical update?
It was a data. It's an adjustment oversight.
But
maybe it's not related to the nose smudge. Maybe it's like a different kind of thing that they.
Maybe. But what else? I mean, nose.
Wasn't it that they removed the nose smudge before there or something?
That was the argument before.
Yeah.
But now it says it's
they removed
too
it.
dark.
Okay.
They originally removed it in the
before
first
the
patch.
update, though.
And
So
then
I
they
don't remember.
updated it, and now it must be dark, and now it's too dark. People can't be happy with this, apparently.
No, didn't people hate that it was so dark? I don't remember.
They hated
No,
that it was
they
gone.
removed it. It went because
Oh, they removed it.
originally looked like a bunny nose, didn't it?
Yes.
And then it looked like a normal nose,
Okay.
and now they've added it back, and now it's too dark for them.
I see. Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, I would, if I was Yoshi-P, I'd resign at this point.
There
Just give up.
there is more aside from these, but we are aiming to implement as many fixes as we can in patch 7.1 for the items you have raised in your feedback that have been determined to be bugs. We apologize for the delay in discovering these issues. Number 5. Items considered spec. Lastly, I will discuss the items that we would like to consider spec. While there aren't many, this covers those effects that had been achieved by hand and were updated to undergo proper processing to produce natural results. A good example are eye highlights. In response to feedback from Benchmark 1.0, the highlights were adjusted to be stronger when a light source hits the eye. While it is possible to increase the strength by changing the values, this would result in eyes glowing, whether it's day or night, resulting in an unnatural look. So we ask that this be considered spec. So he's telling you, this is working as intended. This is it.
So, but the ancients had the cool. Are they talking about the eye glow that it caused? I guess for some of the ancients.
No, I think that might be an issue.
No, this is
No, I think that's an separate issue.
People are
Okay.
That'll be while highlighting by hand has its merit and looks good in certain situations, in others it looks bad, with oddness in dark scenes and mismatch between light source and highlight in screenshots. The quality would be uneven. That said, we have received reports where one eye isn't being highlighted even though there appears to be a light source. We are currently taking a close look at the processing and reproducing the issue as we try to determine if the cause might be something like the shadow cast by hair or headgear. For this, we are also investigating areas such as the placement of lighting during group posts. In addition to the above, due to the big upgrade to Final Fantasy XIV's lighting, shadows that were previously not accurately rendered have become clearer. As a result, even if nasal cavities and the like are the exact same shape pre 6.58 and post 7.0, they may appear different depending on such things as camera angle, weather, and lighting. We also ask that you consider these cases as spec, and thank you for your understanding. We haven't
Oh, I
touched
like
your
that.
character's nose. It's just the
No.
lighting is different now.
Mailer's nostrils are not producing the shadows I once expected. Thank you very much.
Right.
Well, I was casting a really massive shadow on the wall on Friday, and
You
I don't
were.
consider that spec.
That was strange. We apologize for not being to respond. We're not being able to respond to all your feedback individually.
He's written a long fucking post, Kid.
And he's so tired at the end that it's just falling apart.
God.
We are also aware of and are considering various items that we couldn't cover
Giving
above.
consideration.
Giving considering, thank you.
Considering
Sorry,
various
giving consideration or considering, yeah.
various items that we couldn't cover above, and we will endeavor to answer your passion to the best of our ability. Even regarding items that are spec, although it may be difficult at this time, in the future we will look into adding more character creation options, among other things. It will be a long-term undertaking, but we will continue in our efforts. That concludes this report. My apologies again for the delay, and thank you for your continued support. Naoki Yoshida.
Ass slider confirmed, guys.
Oh, the ass. Oh my god.
There might be, so they're considering more character creation options. Look forward to that in like 10.0.
I'm glad he's willing to go through and say, even though you're complaining about these things, we consider them to be finalized. Shut up.
Well, he only mentioned 2 specific items that
I
were
know,
spec,
but it's something.
Yeah. There are probably a longer list of things that they're like, just ignore these because this is as intended. Guys, there are some things. We said this before the release of this graphics update. We've had a graphics update, so your character will look different regardless. You just have to sort of find your way back to your character, I think.
Yeah.
That's what the free Fantasia was for. So
yes.
hopefully that helped you, some of you guys. If not, get the free Fantasia if you haven't already.
Yeah. But yeah, some of these are obviously bugs that they will fix, but there are a lot of people that are still just wanting to go back to 6.58. And from what I could see in chat when we were talking about it, there are ways to at least somewhat go back to what you want.
We can't condone that.
We cannot condone it, but I'm just saying that if there's a will, there's a way. So that's that. Okay, now normally we would have gone to Mogmail right now, but unfortunately we have spent way too much time in recent events.
There's a lot of recent events.
Just love yapping.
We'll love yapping. So we're just gonna move on to the Yoshi-P interview, which is by the gamer. Yeah, that's right. That's the gamer himself. So, Yoshida hints at future possibilities of the Warrior of Light becoming a Hingashi Shogun, a multiverse, and visiting the future. So that's a headline.
We were talking about, let's go, a past expansion would be cool.
Yes. Yes. This week at Gamescom in Cologne, I was fortunate... Cologne. I was fortunate enough to sit down with Final Fantasy XIV producer and director Naoki Yoshida to chat about the recently released Dawn Trail expansion. One of my favorite Dawn Trail areas was Living Memory, which I've written about before. Yeah, okay. Cool.
All right, dude.
Theorizing...
Reference their own work.
How dare you? Theorizing about the hidden meaning behind our warriors of light going around and powering down this stunning environment into nothing but an empty shell. Naturally, I couldn't resist the opportunity to ask the boss man himself. We want the players to not just read the story as it were, but to experience the story as a game, Yoshida says. When we thought about the concept of searching for the City of Gold, we thought about how we could express that within the story. We thought of having this place where the souls and memories are stored, and they need to be there in order to last for eternity. This was the ideal place to live, as it were, but when we view it from reality, it seems quite scary in that sense. We felt that if we needed to make it authentically, and we needed to do it, and we needed to do a proper job. Otherwise, the thought of those people who live in this ninth reflection wouldn't be properly conveyed.
What?
Ninth reflection.
That's the biggest, one of the biggest talking points of this entire interview.
Yeah. Is this
confirmed? He said it right here.
Is this the interview, or is this the second time he said it?
This is the interview.
This is the interview.
And
Okay.
this is the interview, and I think it's the only time it's listed as the ninth reflection.
Okay.
So people are speculating as to whether or not that is actually what he said, or if that is supposition on the author and transcriptor's part. I am of the opinion that until we receive information otherwise, I will take this as fact that Alexandria was the ninth reflection. And as a result, that means that the ninth reflection is essentially unlivable, even though it hasn't been
Joined.
What's it called?
Rejoined.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever considered that maybe when Graha was showing off the big projection of all the shards, he was just wrong? He's never been there.
That's true.
That's true.
That's true. That is true.
Why did we take Graha's word? As an idiot.
Yoshida explains the team deliberately chose to incorporate characters related to the storyline in this area so that players had that emotional connection. We see Erenville's mother, and then Kryl meets her parents for the first time. Then we provide that experience to the players, where they themselves have to shut down those memories. It was the sense of shutting down this place that looks so gorgeous and extravagant, and afterwards, you just see the emptiness there. That was really the connotation that we wanted to incorporate into living memory.
You did it so well.
Yeah.
Good. That's one of the best bits of Dawn.
It's so good. Some
Yeah.
people hate it so much.
Yeah.
It is.
I think
I mean,
it's
it's
so well
it's
done.
difficult because it is something you're actively making the world uglier.
Yeah.
You're actively you won't be able to. Well, that you can.
You can. New Game Plus.
If you turn
But
on New
that's
Game
not
Plus.
real.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though living memory has a programmed appearance and the people living there are not really there as they are digital memories of those who have died, Yoshida wanted to emphasize the important memories of people and the special moments in their lives and hearts to add greater meaning to shutting down this area. Yoshida goes on to say that living memory involved the same amount of work as creating two different zones, since it has two appearances. So it was a lot of work for the team to create. The team did tell me that they went through a really, really tough experience with that.
That's actually very. I had not thought about that, but that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose so.
In Dawn Trail, we have to go around shutting off areas in living memory to delete the digital manifestations of the citizens because its existence requires ether from living people to maintain. As the expansion comes to a close, Sphene is preparing to attack other worlds in order to reap this living ether from others to ensure her citizens, digital though they may be, survive. As the Warrior of Light, it's our job to stop her. I asked whether it would have been possible to find an ether alternative to keep living memory alive had we not had the time restriction due to Sphene's impending attack. Yoshida tells me he believes this issue is something we will face in the real world, and that rather than question whether we could find another source of power, we should consider how humanity will react when faced with this dilemma.
Oh, so we're fucked then.
Oh, God.
Oh boy. When we talk about ourselves as humans, we have gone through a lot of technological advancements, and as we continue to make breakthroughs in the field of science, I do really believe that what we would call mecha is a possibility. Yoshi-P, what the fuck? And we will eventually. And we will eventually get to a point where we can recreate memories and recreate the brain in a digital form.
That's the dream. That's what I
God,
want.
I know it's what you want to be.
That then makes us face the question, would we call that human? If someone is living in this digital world, are they really living? I think this is an issue that humanity will face in the next 100 years.
We've got a time frame. on it as well.
Sooner than I would expect.
I know.
This is actually a very common moral dilemma that the Japanese society loves discussing, particularly in their own, like in media, but also if you were to ask a Japanese person, at least in my experience, a lot of them love talking about this.
Well,
so I can definitely understand why he's.
I mean,
interested
we
in
are
it.
talking about it here as well. I mean, with the rise of AI, I mean, we are seeing we're seeing maybe the beginnings of something like there. I can see how this next 100 years, think about how far AI itself has come, like in just a couple of years. Like it's crazy how that's gone off. So it's a bit weird that he's talking about this interview, but hey, it's.
I mean, it's relevant.
It's relevant to the story.
I understand. Yeah. I mean, it's 14 discusses this a lot. Like, what defines a life? Like, what is a living being?
Yeah.
It does.
It's just Ghost in the Shell, man.
Yeah. Yeah. We continued to delve into the intricacies of the concepts of the endless and digital recreations of once living people. For example, fans have been busy theorizing about which Dawn Trail characters are shards of the Sundered Ancients, summarizing that Otis and Hildebrand are both shards of the same person.
I don't believe that one.
I don't believe
Yeah.
That's still a fog. What if?
I mean, it could be. There's nothing saying he's not.
There's no. I mean,
Exactly.
sure.
Yeah, but no. I mean, there's nothing saying he's not, but it's not. This is the writer's speculation.
Yeah.
This isn't Yoshi-P.
Yeah.
This isn't being put on
This is the
Yoshi-P.
gamer.
Yeah. Okay. Oops. In the closing scene of Dawn Trail, we see Sphyn's crown against a black backdrop, and it's all too easy to see the comparisons between this and the Asian glyphs. Could she too be a shard of an ancient?
That's not what I was thinking, but I was thinking that maybe that more of Sphyn still remains somehow.
When I ask Yoshida this, he reminds me that the Sphyn we know from Dawn Trail is just a reproduction of the original Sphyn from the Ninth Reflection, who died during the, again mentioned Ninth Reflection, who died during the calamity of lightning. He urges me to imagine various possibilities and look forward to what may come, while teasingly saying, because after all, there is a meaning behind the crown. Think about who is the Sphyn that appears to us in 7.0 and what discussions have taken place with her. Let the fan theories and deep dives into all Sphyn conversations commence. So there you go.
Let's just start making up some bullshit.
Yeah.
The other reason that people question whether the Ninth Reflection thing is accurate is because of the specific usage of the Calamity of Lightning, because it suggests that there was more than one Calamity of Lightning.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Dawn Trail okay. Dawn Trail saw or I've lost English.
Dawn Trail
My
saw
English language
our
circuits have
warriors
short-circuited.
of
Dawn Trail saw our Warriors of Light experiencing a lot of parallels from past expansions, experiencing similar circumstances, but with a new twist, which made me wonder what the future holds for us. In both the 6.x series and 7.0, we visited another reflection, and there are still more reflections left unvisited. But Yoshida reminds me that there are even more options open to the team. There is also the possibility that we could travel to the past. Or there's also the possibility of the future. There are not just possibilities in the reflections, but even back in the source. In 4.0, the players went to Kugane. In reality, Kugane is merely a part of Hingashi, and beyond that gate is the rest of Hingashi. Right now in the game, in Hingashi, there is a war taking place between different shoguns and the shogunate of Hingashi. There's also the possibility that the Warrior of Light will travel to Hingashi and participate in the war.
Unlikely.
They will take on the role of shogun and try to win command of the country. In addition to that, there's also the possibility of incorporating a multi-universe.
Well, before we get to that part, what do you think of the idea about the Hingashi, of participating in the war of the Hingashi shogunate?
I think it would have to just be a small part. The trouble is, the island of Hingashi
It's small.
is quite small, and so that would be potentially one zone.
But Mela, think about this. Think the Isle of Val is quite small, and it got 4 whole fucking zones for itself.
That's true. Sometimes they like to make one area in this game feel massive, and then one massive area in this game feel small.
Yeah. Well, if we do the Hingashi Shogun thing, well, then that they can finish off Authard, which means we get Dalmasca. So
we get Dalmasca. We also get.
There are other zones that they could choose
Nagsha.
to include. Yeah, Nagsha is one.
Yeah.
The Alvaland Grath or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
I would love to go back to Authard, and I'd love to go back to Ilsabard.
You know, people these days aren't pledging to their local daimyo, so I think we need to bring that back. You know,
Yeah.
I'm all about the Meiji Restoration. You know, Rise of the Three Kingdoms. Let's start fucking doing that too. You know, I want the mandate of heaven.
The Romance of the Three Kingdoms wouldn't even be the same mythology that Hingashi is based on.
You can do both.
Yeah.
I can be a daimyo and a Chinese warlord, right?
Okay. All right.
I mean, I want to go to Ilsabad more right now. I think that is a higher priority for me, but I wouldn't mind this at some point. I just don't know how it could be a full expansion.
That's the thing, isn't it? It could be.
Yeah.
But it can't be part of a patch cycle because they never add zones in a patch cycle. But it feels like this would require more
They
expansion.
could.
You could do it like
They could open up Hingashi as a zone in an Othard expansion.
Yeah.
And then they set the patch cycle mostly in that zone.
Yeah.
Or it could be a Eureka type area. They'd add zones then.
Yeah.
They do, but I don't.
It
I
could be
find it
the
harder to
eternal
imagine-
battle of the Hingashi shoguns.
Possible. I find that harder to imagine.
With the scope of the story we've got in Dantra, I think it's very possible if they want to tell a story about, the shoguns and daimos and all that kind of shit in Hingashi. That's totally within something they could do. That doesn't seem far off at all. You can have it set mostly there.
Oh, it's definitely believable. The issue is that it's kind of frustrating at this point if they were to give us 6 zones of Hingashi when we currently have 1 zone of Ilsabad.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's more the balance rather than whether they could or couldn't do it.
They have the audacity to include Thavne in the Ilsabad overlay. Just so it looks
Yeah,
more
that's
complete.
true.
I will say, I've never heard people really ask about this one too often.
No.
I don't hear a lot of people like,
No.
you know what? I want to see the rest of Hingashi,
Yeah, no.
It's definitely interesting.
It was more popular to say that after right after Stormblood,
Yeah.
that time, but we haven't really been to that part of the world much since then. So
No.
people just
It's
forget.
definitely something I've wanted. It's just
That'd be
not my
cool.
priority right now.
Yeah,
I would
I am.
like it if we could bring Galuljar as the new shogun.
Okay,
Expand
sure.
his, his reign.
Right. I am a little worried about the time travel stuff because he said future. For God's sakes,
There's only one
I
place
swear
in the
to the
future that we
12,
want to go.
if you do
potentially.
a time travel expansion and you choose to go in the future, I'm gonna be so
The
fucking
only-
upset.
we have to go
the-
to the place where Graha is.
That's the only future I'm
the only
interested
place
in.
we can go
That's the
to.
only one I have. That's the only one I have any connection to. I don't
Yeah.
care about any other future other than the one
Anything
we've
else
already
is
learned
needed.
about.
We have like 6 eras that we can go back
No,
to.
I have fully appreciate.
I agree.
No, yeah, I'm talking to Yoshi-P.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
I
in
agree,
his,
yeah.
because he's in future mode right now, you can tell he's like thinking about, digital people, are they real? So he wants to go back to like the year
I
50
do
million,
not
where like
want-
everyone goes bleep blop bleep blop, floating around in Eorzea, driving floating
I
cars.
think that would be a real nail in the coffin for this game.
Yeah, I just want him to
See
chill.
future Britannia.
I just want him to chill a
Thanks.
little bit now. Now we've had a high digital expansion.
Yeah, this is a fantasy game.
I mean,
first and foremost. There's a lot of
sci-fi is
and
fantasy.
sci-fi.
We can't have this discussion again.
Yeah,
but
there's
it
a
is-
lot of that. in
We've
this
had a lot of it right
There's
now.
not that much. What?
We've had a lot.
There's
Literally a whole expansion about digital people. I mean,
it's still not a lot.
okay, we're not having this discussion. Okay, the
grand
idea.
scope of 14?
What, you don't think there's a lot of digital stuff in this expansion?
In being in the grand scope of 14, I would say it takes very little of that kind of.
Okay, we don't have time for it. Yes, okay, fine.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of digital stuff. More digital stuff.
I
Go
would-
for the future.
Rollo, I'll say that. Rollo, I'll
Okay.
say this. I was going to agree with you, but I didn't have time to make this
No,
argument.
no. The idea of a possible multiverse makes me wonder whether fan favorites like Emmett Selk could make a comeback. But Yoshida reminds me of how we'd face a similar dilemma as we do when discussing digital memories and the endless. The Emmett Selk that we meet in that other universe would they be the same person that we talked to and that we fought with? I think there would be a huge amount of discussion about that, because after all, the Emmett Selk in the multi-universe could have taken Elizabeth's place as being the core of Zodiac.
Okay, now you've
No,
gone too far.
We cannot go
Well,
here.
no,
You've gone too
I don't-
far.
I don't think he's suggesting this in any real way. I
He's gone
think this.
insane. He's turned into Marvel.
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting discussion again.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I feel personally. I mean, maybe I'm completely mistaken, and this is really what Yoshi-P wants to do. But I feel as if he's giving it as a hypothetical to think about.
Yeah.
I would definitely have a discussion about what if this happened, but I would never want this to be the theme of any part of the actual game storyline.
No.
It would be a bit too much.
I've had
I'm
enough
not
of
against it.
myself, you know, he's
I'm
he's
not
done.
against. That's fair.
Okay.
I'm not against this, but I don't want it anytime soon.
The opening of a multi-universe is such a can of worms that can go
It can go
sideways.
downhill quickly. Yeah.
You thought the reception to Dawn Trail was split. I think
Yeah.
this would definitely cause a wider gap in the community, I think. The idea could mean any character that has died in the past could return, even if they are vastly different from the version of them we know and love. But Yoshida tells me he doesn't like the idea of cheapening sacrifices. When we think about the theme of the fate of the characters, about the characters who made really tough decisions to sacrifice their lives to help the Warrior of Light, I don't like these kinds of plot developments where they could just make a comeback. I think that's an easy plot choice, and I would not want to go down that route of making such an easy decision for that kind of plot development.
That's why we don't kill anyone important anymore.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. That's true.
Very good example here. Don't listen to the fans.
No, yeah.
A lot of times, don't listen to fans.
A huge black and white moment for 7 years down the line when the game's gone free to play and they're scrabbling for ideas, and it's like the return of Vemetzelk.
Horsefont walks again.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Yoshida.
The easiest way for them to bring back Emmett Selk would be if we were to go into that future that Graha came from, because Emmett Selk
That's
would
true.
still exist there.
Oh,
But
let's go
I
there.
don't want that myself.
And then we bring him into our current timeline, converging the timelines, and Papa Limo shows up, and it'd be great.
To be clear, I don't want any time traveling expansion either, because they did that in 11. It was.
We have so many time
What a
travel things
Gilmora!
already in this game.
I know I love Gelmora, but it is again another like weird, like annoying can of worms to open. I mean, it's just I don't know.
It can be done so badly or so well.
Yeah, I'm
That's the trouble.
scared that it's easier to fuck that up, I think. But, I'm just I worry about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much that we haven't explored in our world yet. I'd rather do that first, but
Yeah.
Yoshida emphasizes that there really are unlimited possibilities for where Final Fantasy XIV can go next, and that his top priority is to provide enjoyment and surprise for players, so we don't need to worry about what he's up to next. When it comes to the story in Final Fantasy XIV moving forward, in December this year, I have to write out the requirements for the trailer for the new expansion.
What?
So more or less, I already have an image of what the adventure will entail. Dawn Trail
Get
is
it out
this.
of him. Torture him if you have to. Get this information.
Dawn Trail is the start of a new arc after Endwalker brought a close to the Hydaelyn and Zodiark saga that spanned 10 years. However, Yoshida tells me that the storyline wasn't fully planned out ahead of time. It was only at the time of the development of 5.0 that we were able to get a sense of that thought this could become a saga. I already have a vague idea of how the story is going to progress, but when it comes to the question about what specifically are going to be the processes involved in making the story go forward, to a degree that depends on the player's reactions, and that also depends on what we want to do next. If the question is whether the story is already decided for the next 10 years, the answer would be no.
Obviously not.
5.0 is so late, though. That's a little too late.
No.
to be-
You know that's true. It's
I know
very
that's
obvious
true.
in this game that
I know
every
it's true.
expansion-
I know
Yeah.
it's true. I'm just saying it feels like
Yeah.
a little bit too close to the end, you know?
Yeah. Important thing here. I ask Yoshida for a clue to the next big patch in one word. Encounter, he says, before elaborating. There are various meanings to encounter, so it might be correct to say meeting point. It entails coming into contact with various things, characters, and
Oh
content.
no.
It means nothing.
Aliens. Alien invasion.
That was last expansion.
Do you think maybe we're gonna
poo-poo.
travel? Are we gonna like see someone from the from that like? Are we gonna use the key, and then
Maybe.
encounter someone from a different shard?
You're going to encounter your other sharded self or whatever.
Ah,
Another one that's not Arbor or whatever.
yeah.
I don't even know anymore. I don't know what he'd be planning anymore.
Yeah.
The key thing hasn't really been explored enough yet.
Yeah. Okay. The team wanted to bring out a different style of character in the Raid series, but surprisingly, the fan favorite in the community is not as loved by Yoshida himself. We covered that last week. Characters like Honey Be Lovely, I would say I'm not so fond of them. I really don't like this so much, he says, making heart gestures with his hands. But I've seen that everyone seems to really like her. And that's good to hear. Being the minion enthusiast that I am, I couldn't resist asking a final question as to whether we'd get a minion of the greatest serpent of Toral, the final boss from the Dawn Trail Tender Valley dungeon that looks suspiciously like the Great Serpent of Ronka. The Serpent of Ronka, funnily enough, is not popular so much in Japan, Yoshida laughs.
Bad taste.
It's more popular outside of Japan. Within the development team, there are a lot of our members who really love the Serpent of Ronka, even when it's their own creation. With that in mind, I think they might try to subtly incorporate it again. It might make an appearance, and there is also the possibility that it will be a minion.
Japan confirmed bad taste.
Yeah, we don't need to read the last part.
We don't want to talk about them anymore.
Okay.
Wow.
Here you go.
I mean, that's a lot to process.
That is a lot to process. It'll be interesting to see where we go, I guess. Encounter is the key word for the next patch.
It's not. No, the next expansion.
No, major patch is what he said. That would be patch 7.1, right? Yeah, next big patch. So that's 7.1's keyword is
it's
encounter.
Just, he was just talking about the trailer for the new expansion.
He's working. He can carry two balls at the same time.
Yeah, like I do that too.
Yes.
Go on.
Do that every day.
Hell yeah, brother.
We got some strange choices of words today. I said sharded. He's talking about balls over there. I don't know what's going on. But...
Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Well, okay. That's that. Sure. That's a show. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place. Remember to follow on Twitter at SpeakersXIV, twitch.tv/SpeakersOfHeidland, youtube.com/SpeakersXIV, Discord in chat. If you want to join our Discord server, and if you're watching on demand, link is in the description. Remember to send us mogmail, speakersxiv.com/mogmail. And if you are watching live, the post-show is coming up, so make sure you catch that. We'll be answering questions from the Syndicate. And, of course, the much-anticipated continuation of Near Far Wherever You Are. So, we'll see you there. Bye.
Bye.